We're not going to go there.
But you know that she did. I will say, I'll admit that. I say all the time, if I would have listened to a lot of advice Natalie gave, I would probably be 10 steps further. But life happens.
Right. Young people listen to your parents. They kind of do know what's going on.
Don't say that.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily say listen to your parents because at the end of the day,
that's right. My bad.
Some parents haven't been where you trying to go, or
that's right. You're right.
So I mean,
no, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a very good point. Yeah.
Yes. Listen to people who have experienced what you want, or have reached where you want to be in life.
Literally,
you're 100% right. I didn't even think about that. Some parents haven't had the experience of applying to college, going to college, taking courses.
Exactly.
So they, even if their kids were to ask them for help, they couldn't really be of help. They can't guide them, tell them who to go to because they haven't experienced that.
So my mom, when I went to, my brother and I were the first to go to college, and my mom told me, I don't know any of this stuff. Talk to your brother because he's 9 years older than me and he had already been to college. She told me to talk to him and my cousin because she's like, I don't know this stuff. I mean, I went to school, she was a nurse in England and she came here and was just like a CNA. But so she didn't know. And she knew she didn't know. So she didn't try to act like she knew. She said, go talk to somebody else who's been there. Talk to your brother, talk to your cousin.
I wonder if
people who've been to college.
I wonder if most parents tell their kids to do that if they don't know. You know what I mean? Or try to solve it themselves.
No, and I feel like that's one of the issues because you have those parents who just know it all or, are just like, yes. And like, it's like, this is the path you need to take. This is what you need to do. Yeah, So it's just like, that's what I'm not necessarily saying, bad mouth or disrespect, the parents in that sense. But at the same time, it's at the end of the day, especially as you grow older and stuff, sometimes you're not going to agree with your parents' decisions or ideas of your life and your point of view as of right now, where you're at and where you're trying to go.
Right.
So sometimes you just have to
preach it, preacher.
Be that bad person and
just stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Put you can put it at
But what sucks about this? I know what she's saying and it's 100% true. But I remember I was in the same boat as her, and I remember. It's a good thing I picked engineering because I wanted to be an engineer, but I had friends who their parents wanted them to go another direction and they didn't want it. So they went because of their parents and they struggled in college because they really didn't want to, like, I knew a lot of them. I'm like, why are you doing this? Well, my dad. I'm like, your dad? I'm like, you're not your dad. You're you. You know? Yeah. But I mean, I had a couple of friends in college that actually went to college because their parents said, I want you to do this. Or do this. They didn't do what they wanted to do, and they struggled in college because they really didn't want to be in that course. And
see, that's what I'll say now, like a year and a half, post graduation, like college is not for everybody.
Nope.
I'll be that person to say college is not for everybody. I'm not saying graduate high school, sit around and waste away your life, but sometimes college may not be for Bill, but be for Bob. Right. And, Bob goes off to college to get this degree and then he's graduated making $15 an hour because this is what, the American quote unquote dream is. And this is what his family, asked him to do or expected of him. And then Bill went over here and, he was good at something. So he took that and, took it and ran with it. And now he's wealthy person.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. We know a guy, I think I talked about the plumber guy before. Our friend, he's a plumber. He was like the youngest plumber in Florida at one point at 21 years old.
Was that Chris?
Yeah. And he went and he got his plumbing. He had a lawn business. He graduated high school and decided he wanted to be a plumber after high school. Right. And now this guy, he's, I think 29 now. He's got a kid. He's got, a wife, and he has his, I don't know what the sound is, but he, yeah, I'm not sure. Is it that? Oh, but he's got a kid and his wife, and he bought a home, and he is very successful in his plumbing business. He bought a guy out. He bought somebody out of their plumbing business, and now he runs his plumbing, and he's so busy that he can't even keep up with all the work he has, right? Yeah. Or there's trade school, and he never went to college, but he probably makes more than I do. Oh, yeah. For sure, with the engineering degree as a plumber.
And it's amazing because we've seen him from a little kid all the way up to he's a teenager, and he makes like Natalie's right. He makes a lot of money.
He probably does make more than I do.
I don't think he can keep up with his clientele. That's how, and he's popular. He's good. People like him. Yeah, and
people like him, man. On Next Door, we talk about, oh, you need a plumber. Everyone puts his name down. And they're like, oh, he's great. He's great. But that's what I'm saying. He has made a whole life for himself, a stable life. Without a college degree as a plumber.
I'm the second to say you don't need a college degree. If you can find something that you love to do, and it's something that can sustain you in your livelihood, I'd say go for it, man.
Or sometimes, like, we have a friend who he went to college. He ended up dropping out because he wasn't ready to be there. He partied. He was, drugs. Yeah. And now he's got a PhD.
Oh, yeah.
But he later on, he worked. He just went and got jobs, and he had a regular job for about, 10 years or so.
Yeah,
and then he decided, you know what? I'm going back to school. And now he's got a PhD.
He has a PhD. He has some, they invented something. But the thing is, he realized that later on in life, this is what I do want to do.
But he wasn't ready. He said, I wasn't ready for college. Yep. But I was supposed to go, so I went. But he really wasn't ready.
Like, that's my issue. Wouldn't necessarily say the issue, but that's my thing. Like, after going to college, experiencing college, the average person graduates from college within that 3.5 to 4 year time frame. I did the course of a 6-year time frame, 2 years community.
I did 6 years.
I was 6 years player.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it too.
It's just, and I say all the time, I wouldn't redo it. Like, I can honestly say I wouldn't redo it because I've learned a lot, met people, experienced a lot of stuff. But it's just at the same time, I learned that in my personal experience, college is not for me. Like, I'm not, and I think it's that more so I can sit in the room, talk to people, learn from, their experiences, like listen to their experiences and what they've been through. Do I take the advice right then and there? Maybe not, Natalie. But at the same time, it's still like, so I sit here and, I think back, like, this person's been there, done that, tried to tell me this. I could have avoided this. Why make the same exact mistakes as someone was trying to school you from making? But it's just like, as time progresses and, things of that. So will I eventually go back to school? I have no idea. Would I like to go back to school? Maybe. But at this point, I'm just stuck trying to figure out what exactly it is that I want to do, that I love. And I know what I love to do, but it's just trying to put that in a career, like
you're trying to cultivate all your pieces into a profession.
Yes.
And to figure out what that profession is that you can use all of the skills and the things that you love to do and interact with others in a job. So yeah, that takes a little bit of soul searching. It does.
Yeah. So
you can get there.
That's where we're at as of right now. 1.5 years post graduation.
I'm proud of you though.
You've
gone a long way so far.
And I will say, like, granted, I am nowhere near where I want to be at all whatsoever. But oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Looking back, I am not where I used to be at all whatsoever.
That's one of the things I was talking about my therapist. So my therapist has said that, even though you may have goals and you don't reach the goal when you think you're going to reach the goal, but you have to look back on what you have accomplished so far. And you have accomplished a lot so far, whether it's a sociology or psychology or engineering, whatever degree, you've accomplished that goal, right? Yeah. Even if it's not the way you thought you would and in the time frame and all that kind of stuff. It's okay. It was messy, but it was done, right?
Accurate, yeah.
So you got to give yourself a pat on the back and know that you've done a lot. You've grown a lot as a person and you've come a long way and you have, many more years ahead of you to figure out the rest and to make it happen. So it's not the end of the road. This is just the beginning.
And see, one little piece of advice that I will throw out there for, a young person to take is don't feel like you have to have it all together right now. 'Cause it's like I'm 26 and I see I always envision my 35-year-old self.
Damn.
And I'm like, this is like, I should be here right now. This is what, versus, setting little goals and achieving them to get to the bigger goal. Like, 'cause I am big on beating self up for not being exactly where I want to be right now. But at the same time, I'm somewhat headed in the right
You're doing better than the majority of people.
You're in the right direction.
I think you're fine.
And especially you have self-awareness. That's always a huge thing. A lot of people don't have self-awareness. And when you have awareness of yourself and who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go, then you can continue to make changes and evolve. But if you don't even have the awareness, you're just floundering, right? So the fact that you have the awareness, like I said, pat yourself on the back for that too. Because you'll get there. It just takes time, and it's okay.
You're 26.
Yeah.
Damn.
What
was I doing at 26?
We had just. I think did we get married? No, we didn't get married at 26.
No, we didn't get married at 26.
We were just graduating college because we both took forever to graduate.
Yeah, we were chilling in college. It was that 6-year plan.
We was on that turtle route.
Extended graduation
let me see, 95. Yeah, because I graduated 2001. I graduated high school in 95. So 6 years.
I technically started in 96. Technically. But I didn't get my act together till like 98.
Yes, so you were, you were 6 years too, 7 years.
Yeah, I was playing around the community college for a while. I was like, you know what? I need to get the hell out of here. I need to get the hell out of here, man. I ain't doing nothing.
That's what I did.
98 is when I got my act together and said, you know what? Let me go get ready to go to college. So I kind of took a couple years and just chilled.
I will say though, undergrad was some of the best years.
Look at your face. You're smiling talking about it.
I'm telling you, man, undergrad was like some of the best years ever.
College is fun. I ain't gonna lie. College is fun. And all you have after college for real, for the rest of your life, no, is memories. That's all you literally from now till later on.
It's true.
But one thing about it is too though, like, when you leave off for college, when you graduate high school and leave off for college, that's when they tell you you're in the real world. You're in the real world when you graduate high school and leave off to college. From personal experience, you are not in the real world. You graduate.
You just got
college.
Your toes in. You just put your feet in.
College
That's it.
College is not even close to the real world.
Oh my gosh.
College is like not even 5% of what
that's
like
just going, you waiting, right? You just you got your feet in and you just walking around. But real life is when you get dunked under that water and you got to fight. Now you got to start fighting to get up.
I'm telling you that when I graduated college, I was pissed. I was like, man, I have to work now. I'm telling you, because you got to, life just ends. Because you don't realize, even though you're studying in college and you're studying for exams, you realize, man, I was having fun.
Yep.
Regardless of all the studying and the craziness, I actually had fun meeting people, going to dances, clubs, partying, talking to different people. And it ends. When you graduate, it ends. And then when you actually start looking for a job, you're like, man, I'm depressed. Because now I'm like, because you can't go backwards.
Literally. And then it's like, once you get to like almost every job I applied to from like, through high school, mid-college, all that, like I've always gotten. And maybe they were like, those simple jobs, whatever, but it's still, I was always that person to be able to turn down this opportunity because, okay, this person called me back.
I'm good.
Once you graduate college,
they don't give a damn.
And it's like your feelings don't even matter. Like you got to sit here and you got to think about it like, okay, well, you got to pep talk yourself. Well, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. That one just passed you by. You got to try to get.
You got to have a hard skin, man.
Man, listen.
Rejection.
And that was my problem. I was not open and acceptive to hearing the word no. And once I felt like, at the end of the day, you might get 100 no's before you get that one yes. And that one yes might be that, this is what you needed. So if you get a no, don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep going. Keep going.
The one thing I've always learned from rejection is that's not the right door. That wasn't the door for me. I don't worry about rejection as far as jobs and stuff because that's not the door for me. When the door for me opens, it's the right door and it will open. And I look back when I graduated college, I had an interview with this. I don't even think this company is still around. Like Sun Microsystems.
Oh, yes.
I didn't even have a GPA requirement.
I remember that.
But I got an interview. And
everybody wanted to work for them at that time, remember?
Yes,
that was the thing.
Well, yeah, them and WorldCom.
Yes.
I had interviews with Sun Microsystems and WorldCom. I didn't even have, like I said, I didn't have the GPA, but I was like, I'm going to interview. And I even got to the second interview because I made sure I did my research and I had questions and all this stuff.
And she was nervous.
Right, but looking back, and then I interviewed at WorldCom. WorldCom's like, oh, well, you're not graduating right now, so we're not gonna give you an offer, but maybe next time you can come back.
This.
Right, and then by the time I graduated, I think WorldCom imploded.
Mm-hmm.
The economy dropped.
Remember?
Some microsystems, like within a year after I graduated, was like imploded or something.
Dude, it was bad.
And right, but none of those doors opened. But now I look back,